Chest, never returned. Christian McCaffrey, knee, didn't return. Fred had cramps, he did return.
Give me indication of the nature of the knee injury.
Yeah, they were saying they think it's PCL.
PCL?
Yeah.
Could that potentially end the season?
I think potentially. I'm not exactly sure yet. I think PCL is usually a couple weeks, but I'm not exactly sure yet.
Did he get hurt on the 18-yard run before that? Is that the indication?
I believe so. Yeah, that's when he came out. So he went back in for one play. Gotta go.
How did we lack of physicality? Did you see anything from the Buffalo defense at all that surprised you at all? Just what you expect.
Are you saying lack of physicality from our offense? I mean, I thought we ran the ball real well. We had 120 yards at halftime. Our passing game didn't do well, so I didn't sense a lack of physicality on our offense.
How would you describe the conditions, what that was like for the play?
I mean, the tracking is what I think got a lot of guys for both sides. As far as the turnovers, I think it got Brock on that one pass, obviously, that they're down. That slipped out of his hands. It makes it tough, but tough for both teams.
Did Brock have to have an injection in his shoulder before the game?
No, Brock's shoulder was totally fine.
Fred, one another talk about the cramps.
What's that?
He be able to continue.
Yeah, he came back the next series.
What was it, coach? Seemed like you moved the ball well, running the ball, but then it seemed like this errors kind of cost you to turn over the fumbles and this.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited with how we ran the ball in the first half. I think our 5 possessions, and we got in their territory on all 5. Ended up getting that sack, which was disappointing, having to punt on that one. 2 missed field goals. Only coming up with 3 points was tough, especially when I think we got them 3 and out on the first drive, but I think they scored 3 straight touchdowns after that. I thought it should have been closer than 21-3 at halftime. Thought we had a chance like last week, opening up with a big kickoff. This one didn't have a penalty, and the fumbling on the one was tough. Fumbling on the one, and they led it to points. I believe they did. They made it 28-3 fast, and we got back in it with 28-10, but then we had 2 more turnovers after that, which got done. So playing in those conditions, us having 3, them having 0, the way they ran the ball made it real tough.
Kyle, these are 2 good teams on the road. You have a lot of injuries, but 38-10 and 35-10. How disappointed are you that you haven't been more competitive last 2 weeks?
Well, real disappointed. We got a lot more pride in this, and I know we definitely know we have some people out and stuff, but we can play a lot better than that. Having 3 turnovers both of these weeks and get it done. They had 6-0 in 2 weeks, and when you do that and you don't stop the run like we have in these last 2 weeks, it's the best outcome.
You mentioned the traction and just the slick track out there. How much does that augment Josh Allen's danger level because of his improvisational abilities?
I mean, it's hard to say it helps it or hurts it. I mean, he's got those skills no matter what the weather is, so he's as good as it gets. And, but I mean, they beat us as a team today, not just with Josh.
Does this sort of capture the frustration of the season in a sense? Like Christian was running like himself again those first 6 plays, and then
it was frustrating. He had a great week of practice, and I could feel his urgency and stuff, and thought he came out great, looking real good, and it looked like he just got his shoestring there. He's about to break a house call, and I'm guessing he got hurt on that play. I don't know. I never got to talk to him, but I heard for him, and tough for a team that happened.
It's hard to say that changed. Did that in some way change the tenor of the game when he went out?
I mean, always when you lose some great players like that, it always doesn't help. But I thought JP came in and ran well. Thought Isaiah ran well too. But yeah, losing Christian isn't fun.
You said last Monday, you sort of talked about the urgency, and every game felt like a must-win.
Yeah.
Given that Seattle won today, where does this sort of?
All must-wins. So not much different.
Right.
It was a must-win this week. It's even stronger next week. So it'll be that way from here on out. This is the hole we put ourselves in, and made it a lot tougher. And if we want to get out of it, we got to do something special there.
What'd you see from Brock out there?
What's that?
What'd you see from Brock out there?
We didn't throw it that much. I thought he battled, but he didn't have a lot of opportunities in the pass game, and it was unfortunate that ball slipped there. That last 3rd down, he was going to the right spot with it, and that ball just came out of his hands.
The conditions at the goal line, Mason was out with getting evaluated on the juices carried.
I don't know if he went out that time or not. Not sure.
Why give Kyle the ball there when he hasn't had a whole lot of ball handling this season?
I mean, we do a lot on the goal line. I mean, that was a good scheme run for the fronts that they always play down there. It's tough to run it versus their zero looks, and that was a good schemed up play to run it in versus that, and felt really good about it. And I don't think Kyle's fumbled the ball in a long time. I can't remember the last time he did it. First and goal at the 4, and I don't know if he was going to score. We were going to be at the 1, so we definitely like to play. They stripped them, and they made a good play.
The conditions obviously were not ideal, but are you concerned that you do have a kicker issue?
I'm not thinking about that right now. I know he missed 2 in that game. Conditions weren't good, but especially, the 55-yard one in those conditions, I think at the end of that half would have been an amazing kick, but about the one before that was one he should have made.
I understand your focus on the game and calling plays, but did you ever stop for a moment and think about how crazy the conditions, how feel ridiculous does it feel? What does it feel like?
It feels like what we expected. We were prepared for it. We had an idea it was going to be like that, and so we dressed warm, and you go out there and you play the game.
What gives you confidence that this team can go on a run like you have to, given what's going on this year?
I'm just trying to win next week. I'm talking about going on a run. I'm talking about trying to get a win next week, and all you do with that is go back to work.
Coach, you seldom went against McCaffrey. What can you say about going against him tonight?
I mean, I just got a lot of respect for Sean. I think he's a really good coach. They run a real good scheme on defense, always have. He's got a real good team.
They went 97 yards there right before the half, and I think a lot of times that's be a pretty crushing drive. But you came out and responded. What can be said about what was said at halftime, or what you guys did to kind of reset yourself and not let that shake you?
I mean, I'm not looking for moral victory at all. I think what came out in the third quarter was very similar to how the first half was. I thought we were moving the ball well. We just got all the way to the 1 before we fumbled. The other ones we got stopped on third down and led to field goals. But it's, I thought, we felt pretty confident running the ball the whole game. Third down we knew would be a challenge and stuff. And, not scoring those in the first half and fumbling on the 1, and then the score leading to what it did. Playing catch up in that game in those conditions versus that team wasn't ideal.
How much of a killer was that 97-yard drive? Because the first play they ran, you stopped, I think, held them to 2 yards. It felt like you might have time to get the ball back to them. And then suddenly they're off.
Yeah, it was tough. We went from where we thought we were kicking a field goal, to getting that sack and having a punt. At least we pinned them back, but it flipped pretty fast for that. So that was a tough drive.
I'll just say that doesn't have the same record as preseason. Do you think it has the same fight?
What's that?
Do you think this team has the same fight in them?
I mean, I think we're not as good of a team as those past teams. So that's kind of how I look at it. We're not the same team at all. Every team each year is different. But I'm not going to say that this team is the same as last year's team. We're just not fighting as hard. We've got a bunch of different guys out there. We've been trying to find our way since the beginning. Haven't quite found that yet. There's still a lot of season left, and we expect to play better. But I'm not going to say that our team doesn't have fight.
That's your message to the players in the locker room? What's the message moving forward?
There's no secret message. We'll watch the film, get on the plane, and come back Wednesday ready to go.
All right, guys. Thanks.